Hi, and thanks for joining. My name is Jody Corrington, and I'm your Chalk Couture independent designer. And today we're going to make up some door tags. Actually, it will be one door tag, but it will take two of these to actually make it. So this is the form. These are available through my shop. And as you can see, it makes it look like it has a really nice wood grain. These are 9 by 12, so they're a very good size for decorating. I'm going to put one aside right now. The transfer that we're going to be using, this is actually one, but I've cut it apart, is Leaves, and it says, "Oh Sweet Fall." I am really looking forward to fall. I live in Alabama. You can imagine why I'm looking forward to fall. All right, so we're going to start with the leaves. And the colors that I've decided to use, the paste that I'm using is shimmer paste. It's a fairly new product. I love shimmer paste. I like things that have dimension like that and glitter and glow and do all those wonderful things. So the first thing I need to do is get my transfer off the backing. Now the backing has a shiny side and it has a dull side. And after you wash your transfer and put it back on, you want to make sure you get it on the shiny side. So what I do is I mark the back. And then you try very hard not to let your transfer stick to itself. But when it does, you can very, very gently unstick it. And if it's a real problem, you can put it into water and it will unstick. All right, so once you have your transfer off the backing, you do want to fuzz it a little bit to release some of the stickiness. I think you can tell why, depending on how much I edited out of what I just went through. But it happens. And you don't have to have a fancy fuzzing cloth or anything. You can just use a towel, you can use your shirt, anything that's going to help release a little bit of the sticky. When you wash your transfers, you dry them with the sticky side up. It won't be sticky when you wash it, but the sticky comes back. Now, this transfer is a little bit shorter than the board I'm using, so I will do it in sections. So I'm going to go ahead and do the top first. And then I'll come back down and do the bottom. Yep, don't like how that is. Let's try that again. Much better. Much better. Now, when you put your transfers on, you do want to make sure there aren't any wrinkles or bubbles. Typically there won't be. But I'm on camera and I'm doing a demo. So, but you want to make sure you get those out of there. Another thing I'll do as sort of the last step right before I chalk is I'll just take the squeegee and run it along. Now, it may seem a little counterintuitive. Here it is, you just made it less sticky. And now you're sticking it down. Trust me, there's a good reason for that, but you do want this to release when you want it to release. That makes sense? All right, so I'm going to do a technique where you're just mixing a lot of different colors all at one time. So I have chosen 4 different shimmer pastes. Now, if any of you watched my video yesterday, I mentioned how the paste dries pretty quickly. Shimmer paste is one that, besides the ink, that dries a little more slowly. Not a lot, but a little bit, so you do need to be a little more careful. So the colors I mostly want to use are these two. I think they're very pretty. I'll have to look at the bottom, which I can't do right now, to tell you exactly the name. But what I'm going to do is just put a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, oh, maybe a little here and here. And then I'll take some of this. And I'll put a little here, and a little here, and a little here. A little in the middle. Then I have some green shimmer. You can hear my cat playing in the background. Hopefully I will not have to cover up the cat again, as I did yesterday. I'm putting a lot of green. Well, I don't think I am. And then I have some, looks very close to, I would say this is bronze. Now, some people, they will do, they'll alternate what colors they do, and then you just start. But some people will alternate colors on the leaves. I have seen this technique done, and I just thought it was so pretty. This is the way I wanted to do it. So what you're doing is just taking nice long strokes, going through the silk screen. You do want to make sure you get all of the areas of the silk screen. You need to put a little bit of pressure, but not too terribly much, because you don't want it to bleed up underneath. Now, if it does, it's not the worst thing in the world. And because I cannot put this back in the jars, I just have this little cup that I'll use to wipe the excess off. And I suppose I should be saying something really brilliant right about now. But I'm having fun. It's hard to talk and have fun at the same time. That's not true. That's totally a lie. All right, so I'm just doing my final smoothing. You don't want it too thick. I promise you, it's very forgiving anyway. Okay. Now I can feel that I have this on my fingers. So I generally have a baby wipe in the vicinity so that I can get my fingers kind of cleaned off. And now we do a peel and reveal. And I'm going to let it just come right up next to my body. Ooh, this is so pretty. And hopefully you can see how this looks. I'm generally not trying to be this careful, so that's why it took me longer. And I'm just putting that back down on the fuzzing cloth right now. But see, I don't know if you can see the different colors, but it's really pretty. Now I have one little area that bled a little bit. I can either fix that or not care. So for those of you that are perfectionists, if you care, you can fix it. You can just take like a little Q-tip, or we have a little tool, and you can just scrape that off a little bit. It'll come right off. Now because I have to put that transfer back on, I'm going to go ahead and dry this. All right. Now, one thing about the shimmer paste, when you wash your transfers, some of the shimmer is still going to be on there. Don't worry about it. It won't show up in anything else. All right, now I want to try to just get this. I think that'll be just fine. Just so I can get the bottom portion of this board. Hopefully I'm reasonably straight. You can see where some is already on there. I'll just make sure that a leaf is going over that. That's not a problem. All right. It's not even doing any whole leaves. Now, I'm not going to even put any more paste on here. It's already mixed up really well. So I'm just going to use what's on here and what's in my little plate and finish this one up. The squeegee that I'm using is our medium squeegee. It's sort of the normal size, if you will. If you saw yesterday's video, that was the mini, which is great for tiny spots. In fact, I'll probably be using our mini on the next tag. There we go. There we go. And we'll get over here on the side. That side's going to be important because that'll be seen. Now, I took a painting class once. I realize this is paste and not paint, but I took a painting class once. I didn't do very well at it. But one of the things my instructor said is that I kept futzing, meaning I kept messing with it. When it's good, it's good. So that is something that I'm trying to teach myself here. It's a tough lesson to learn. How many of you are like that? Any of the rest of you futzers too? It's not a bad word, I promise. All right, now we're good. And we're going to peel and reveal. And there we go. Have a little spot that I sort of messed up, and once again, I don't mind, and this won't be seen. So I'm going to put this transfer in some water. To the side. And then we'll get our other board. Wipe my hands off again. I'm a messy crafter. How many of you are messy crafters? It doesn't seem to matter what I'm trying to do. I'm going to still make a mess. I don't see it as a major problem. Just is what it is. All right, so now what we're doing is we're going to put Oh Sweet Fall on here. Now you'll notice there's a little opening here, there's a little opening there. That's not a defect. Couture does some of the cutest fonts that I've seen, and I mean that seriously. And that's just part of the font, so do not think that it's a fault. All right, so we're going to, I know what I need to do. Turn my glue gun down. All right, so again, we're going to remove this from the backing. And we're going to fuzz our transfer. Get this out of the way. And as you could tell by what it took to pull the leaves off, I could have fuzzed it a whole lot more. So, lesson learned, even though this doesn't have as many areas that will get paste in them, I'm still going to do a couple more times. Especially because this is a brand new transfer. Now our transfers are reusable. You take proper care of them and you can use them 8 to 12 times. I have heard stories where they've been used more, but they will lose their sticky eventually. One more time for good luck. All right. Still sticking to the towel pretty well. Okay. Now, I just want to put this, I might just line it up with the bottom. Are any of you the type that when you do something like this, you're going to measure side to side? I'm not. So I can already tell. Oh, all right. I know, I could hear you. It was driving a couple of you crazy. Fine. Oh, go ahead and fix it. But I am not a measurer. That actually does look a little bit better. All right. So again, I'm going to take a squeegee, make sure it's down well. I'm not going to do multicolors in one area. Now there's a bubble here. It doesn't really matter because I don't have to chalk anything there. But because I told you don't have them, I figure I should do it right. All right. This is the one I'm going to use. Now, what color do I want to use? I really like this one. All right, consistency is still good. So I'm just going to put, this isn't going to take a whole lot, or it shouldn't take a whole lot, she said. One place I'll have to be careful is down there by the leaves. So, you want me to try and do this upside down so you can actually see it right side up? Sure, let's do that. All right. All right. And again, all you're doing is pulling nice long strokes. And on this one where I have a lot of excess because it's just the one color, I can put it back in the jar because I still have plenty on this transfer that I can pull. Well, I say that and then I lied to you. I'm sorry. There we go. Now with the regular paste, if you're going to do it in sections with multicolors, you would do one section and then sort of pull up the transfer and dry that underneath, and then you can lay it back down. But because this takes a little bit longer to dry and because it's such a small area that I'm going to be working in, I'm just going to go ahead and leave this on. And as you've clearly seen, I'm not afraid to make mistakes on here. So, but I just want some shimmer green on here. It's very interesting doing it upside down. I guess it doesn't much matter, especially not on the leaves. I mean, really, how different are leaves, upside down or right side up? And then we pull the excess, of which there isn't much. And now we are ready for our peel and reveal. Oh, so nice. What do you think? While I put this in water, I'll let you ooh and ah over it. Oh, I can hear you. You are oohing and ahhing. I hear it. Thank you. But look how pretty that is. I'll hold it up in a moment and see if you can see the shimmer on there. Now, a lot of people with the tags, they're staining them and painting them, and that's great. It'll look really, really pretty. I just wanted to do them au naturel, if you will. But hopefully you can see the shimmer on there. I hope. All right. I'm going to go ahead and dry this. Once again, talk amongst yourselves if you want to. Go have some coffee, whatever you like to do. No, I'm not making fun of anybody. I just like coffee talk, the old Saturday Night Live. Anybody remember that? Is probably close to dry, and I'm going to let it sit for just a minute while I close up my pastes. Again, while I'm closing these up, you do want your paste to be sort of the consistency of yogurt, sour cream, cake batter. If they get a little thick, you just add some distilled water. You just spray it in there and stir until you get the consistency that you want. You use distilled water because these pastes are made with all natural ingredients, and you don't want to introduce anything that could cause it to go moldy. I don't know if moldy would be the right word, but you don't want it to go bad. For instance, I have well water here, so I would not want to use my water. Some of you, I'm sure, live in towns that have perfectly acceptable water, but I would still use distilled water. Just keep it nice and pure. And I hear my cat again. All right, so now that these are closed, this was Shimmer Olive. We had Shimmer Gold, Shimmer Copper, that's the cat, and Shimmer Harvest, which is actually one of my favorites. Let's see how we're doing here. It's pretty good. All right. We're almost done, folks. Are you tired of watching? Maybe I can edit this down. We'll see. It is kind of long. And let me check my other one. Make sure it's dry. It certainly should be. It's been sitting there long enough. All right. Let me put this up so I won't trip over it. Cat alert. All right, now what I'm going to do, and why it didn't matter what happened over here, is I'm actually going to layer one on top of the other. So you honestly don't see a whole lot of the leaves. Some people will just leave it like that, but I'm going to glue it down. Hopefully this is hot. Yes, it is. So, and that's why it didn't matter. Ooh, look how hot that is. Yep, that's some warm glue. Just hold it down for a minute. I think we're good. All right, here's our project so far. Now what I'm going to do, I'm down in my basement right now. I'm going to take it upstairs and I'm going to embellish a little bit. I'll probably put some ribbon. I don't know what else is going to go with it. And then I will put it at the end of the video so that you can see the final product. If you hung in here for this whole thing, first I salute you. I'm impressed. I appreciate it. If you're interested in Chalk Couture, you can either go to my link and go look around the shop if you like, or you can message me, and I'm happy to help you with anything that I can. For the first person that purchases something from my shop, I'm going to send a cute little freebie. Well, I think it's cute. For the first person that joins Chalk Couture Club, I will send a freebie to that person as well. So thanks so much for hanging in here with me through all this. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day, a great evening, and have some fun shopping. Thank you.